here for the Pass ISD regular meeting. We are here at the District Service Center, and we call this meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, and the time is 6:03 p.m. Mr. Mijares, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, Mr. Mijares. Now we will move on to roll call. We have Ms. Ida P. Martinez present, Mr. Christopher Hiller present, Mr. Victor Perry present, Mr. Morris Litson present, Mr. Jaime C. Barrera present, Mr. Tom Gonzalez present. We have our superintendent, Mr. Mijares present, our attorney, Valeria Carrillo present, and myself, Jorge Barrera, present. At this time, we will move to citizens' communications and recognitions. We have no citizens' communication signed up at this time, so we will move to recognitions. We will start off with number 1, recognition of the San Houston Elementary Cheer Team for being named champions of the Division Medium Elementary at the Texas Cheerleader Open State Championship competition in San Marcos, Texas on January 18, 2026.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished members of the board, and of course, Superintendent Mijares. Thank you for allowing me to spend some time with you this evening. Our first recognition for tonight is for Sam Houston Cougar Cheer. Congratulations are in order for Sam Houston Cougar Cheer as they showed up and showed out at the Cheerleader State Championship in Texas State. The girls won first place in the medium elementary division. They had a great time representing Cougar Country and bringing home that trophy. Congrats, ladies. At this time, we invite the board and of course Superintendent Mijares to come forward for photos. If there are any parents who'd like to get their photo, you may move to the middle right now as you wish before we get our official photos. And just a reminder, all photos taken tonight will be free for download on our district website tomorrow. They got spirit, yes they do. They have spirit, how about you? Perfecto Mancha Stallion Cheer Team competed in San Marcos, Texas on January 18th at the Texas Cheerleader Open State Championship. The team was proud to represent Mustang Country, and of course they brought home a hard-fought national championship title. Way to go, Mustang Cheer. Once again, parents, this is your opportunity to get your photo right now if you'd like to do so.
No aviso más que van a ir por tortas, platicar, pero ahorita todo ese show de
in San Marcos at the Texas Cheerleader State Championship. The Tigers brought home first place in the intermediate school division. And to show everyone that they're not just good, they're great. The Tigers are also proud to boast that they scored the top score overall in the elementary division. Way to cheer your hearts out, ladies. Once again, parents, if you'd like to get your photo, this is your opportunity to do so.
Está tirado ahí. Qué bárbaro, qué bárbaro. No, no le estoy sacándose el moco.
Todo tranquilo.
Ya sabes.
Eagle Pass High School has been recognized as a top 50 club high school. This distinction is awarded to the top national club institution, whose students earn the highest number of college credits through the club exam. Club is the most widely trusted credit by exam program, and tonight we celebrate the 9 Eagle Pass High School students who had amazing scores and made us a top 50 high school. Congrats, Eagles!
Good job.
If there are any parents who'd like to get their photo, you may do so at this time.
Any parents? No?
And now our Eagle Pass High School recognitions move from academics to the arts, as we congratulate Eagle Pass High School's very own pianist, Giselle Carrion, for earning the opportunity to record for the All-State Orchestra and proudly represent Region 20 and, of course, EPISD. We can't wait to hear you tickle those keys, Giselle. If Giselle's family is here, we ask for you to join us for the photo. Next, we recognize Eagle Pass High School's very own versatile violinist, Braulio Cárdenas. Braulio not only won first in All-Region Mariachi, but he also recorded for the All-State Orchestra and the All-State Mariachi. Talk about the sweet sound of success. Congratulations, Braulio. If Braulio's family is here, we ask you to join us for the photo. Congratulations are definitely in order for Eagle Pass High School senior band member Noah Eastlinger on being selected to the TMEA All-State Jazz Band. Through a series of auditions, Noah was selected the best drum set player in the state of Texas, beating out over 600 high school students from across the state. Fun fact, this is the second year in a row that this young man has been awarded this honor, which is the highest honor a student can take to college in Texas. Wait till you can hear for yourself the EPISD music history, Noah. We invite the family to join us for the photo. Rounding out our Eagle Pass High School musical achievements this evening, we are now pleased to recognize the 8 students that will represent Eagle Pass High School and EPISD at the Area G All-State Tryouts. Way to let your craft lead the way and dedicating your time to grow as musicians and students. Congrats, Eagles! Parents, you can get your photo at this time. Our last recognition for tonight, it is my honor to bring up our 10 B-rated campuses who have just been awarded their plaques to take a photo to commemorate this occasion. First, let's bring up Armando Serna Elementary. Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary. Rosita Valley Elementary. Prefecto Mancha Elementary. Radar Elementary. Eagle Pass Kirshner Elementary. Let's give a big round of applause to our 10 B-rated campuses. And remember, principals, this is only one stop away from getting that A. And speaking of A's, let's give a big round of applause to our only A-rated campus, Liberty Elementary. Can everyone please stay? Can y'all stay? We have one more picture. Just squeeze back in. One more picture. Thank you.
Now move to district reports and presentations. Yeah, we'll take 1, 2, and 3 together. Questions? Financial report? If not, we will move to number 4. Presentation on bond election by the EPISD Facilities and Improvement Committee.
Take
We have several members of the committee. Mr. Sanchez, go ahead.
Good afternoon. We're here, board president and board members. After 100 pounds later, I'm back. Now to the serious things. Safety for students. Providing the best possible facilities that we can to our students, to our families, to our staff. Because it's needed and you deserve it. Eagle Pass deserves it. And with that, I would like to mention that the Facilities Committee has been working for the past year or more than a year under the chairman's leadership of Carlos Heredia. Mr. Heredia. And one of our, also, he's glad to be back also, Enrique Montalvo, committee member. The purpose of the Facilities Committee is to assess the overall district facilities, those things that have been there for a long time and that require attention. The purpose is to assist and recommend to district staff, the school board, and the community itself this is our needs, this is what we need. Based on a lot of work that they put together, and I say they, because I only attended a few meetings. But the facilities committees have done a lot of work on this, and in trying to do the best job that they can and making the best recommendations that we can for the board, for the district staff, and certainly for our children of the community. One of the purposes of the district, or in other words, one of the purposes of the committee was for them to identify the age of the buildings. How old are our buildings? Those of us that went to school here says, oh, wow, Glass Elementary, I was in junior high there. And that's a long time ago. You know, and it was there even way before me, before I went there. And I'm going to use Glass Elementary only as an example. But we have many other buildings that need to not only need to be repaired, we need to change the building itself. So with that in mind, the committee not only looked at Glass Elementary, looked at all the elementary schools. So the age of the buildings were one of them. Safety of the facilities. How safe are our facilities? You know, that's was and is very important. And I grant you that it will be very important as we move forward in this changing world. You know, we need to make it safe not only right now, but for the future. The other is to ensure that we have the proper facilities to promote, to be successful in our education work that we do with our students. Educational success is the only thing that we should be responsible for. But in order to provide that or to achieve that responsibility, we need the proper facilities. Certainly, you know, we have real good facilities, but also we have real good staff that with the facilities that you have, you're able to be successful with what you have. So as a facilities committee, our recommendation is let's work at safety and educational facilities so that we can provide the best educational programs for our children. But most importantly, we have to keep in mind the safety of our children. You know, I don't have to mention any situation that's happened throughout the world when it comes to attacks at our elementary schools, at our school campuses throughout the United States. I don't need to mention that. You know that. So with that in mind, we need to work at making it safe for our students. As a committee looked at all the findings, some recommendations are being made, which brought up the bond issue. Throughout the bond issue, the recommendations are presented in 4 different sections. Construction, complete constructions of new campuses. And those new campuses will be Kennedy Hall, ECC, Glass Elementary, and Graves Elementary. Those buildings are in need of what we did with San Luis Elementary. We demolished it and constructed a brand new school there. It's time to do that same thing for ECC, Kennedy Hall, Glass, and Graves. We need that. Our children need it, and the community needs it. The other one are new additions to different campuses. And the new additions in reference to additional classrooms, additional facilities that they need at different campuses would be at Kirchner Elementary, Benavides Elementary, Seco Mines Elementary, and Eagle Pass High School. The bond is supposed to address those campuses through the issuance of bonds. Section 2 has to do with work that needs to be done, and that is removal of portable buildings. We need to get rid of portable buildings. Why should our students keep on going to school in portable buildings? And one time, that was the only thing that we had, so we did the best that we could. But now, I venture to say that we don't have that many portable buildings, but we have one too many. We need to eliminate all of our portable buildings. And I think Kennedy Hall, ECC, those two campuses have our smallest children, our pre-kinder and kinder students. They they need a building, not portable building, they need a building. We as parents, me as a grandparent, I want my grandkids to go to good schools like, I would hope that when they go to school, pre-kinder or kinder, they go to a brand new building. Not because it's brand new, but because it provides all the essentials that are needed. And most importantly, it helps at providing that safety environment that's needed. The other one is control points. Control points for safety. And when you talk about control points of safety, you're talking about the entrance to the schools, not only to the building, but also to the entrance of the facilities, of the grounds. Okay? That is critical. The other one is replacement of PAs. Way back when I was a principal at some of the elementary schools, I could tell that some of the kids were laughing at me. I was the principal, I was trying to talk over the PA, and they wouldn't understand me. And some of them even would make fun of me. But be it as it may, that's what we have, that's what we work with. Why continue with that? Why continue with that? We shouldn't continue with that. We shouldn't be satisfied with that. We should provide what's needed at all the buildings, because we need it. We want a good message to go out to everyone, especially when the principals do their announcements in the morning. Let's get a clear message out to our kids and have a great day that particular day and have a successful day academically. The 5-year roofing replacement, throughout the 5 years, it is recommended that the roofing needs be addressed throughout the district. Those of you that have leaking buildings, you know what I'm talking about. Roofing buildings, I know a lot of schools that have them, or that had them when I was there, and we did our best to correct them. But it's time to not do a patch job, do a complete replacement of the roofs. The other one is a panel roofing to replace, there's replacements at the elementary schools, especially the elementary gyms. You have those panel walkways that need to be changed. They just need to be removed and replaced with proper walkways with proper roofing. The other is a split fuel tank, and I know that is needed at where we have our transportation department. Section 3, campus specifics. Eagle Pass High School, replace HVAC main building in the main building. The HVAC in the main building, Eagle Pass High School. Even when I was superintendent 13 years ago, there was a need for it. And I know that there was some work done on them, and they got them working. So if they're replaced, the replacement is needed, in other words, it's needed. CC Wynn, relocate guardhouse and chiller replacement. Talk about the guardhouse. You know, once you're there, when you drive up to CC Wynn, you're at the guardhouse. You're just about inside the grounds already. What's to stop you from just running through the guardhouse and doing whatever damage you want to do? So replacement of the guardhouse is something that's needed for the safety of the children. The chillers that need to be changed, that's needed. Nowadays, you know, we all feel very comfortable because we have ACs. So we're comfortable. It's terrific. Anytime our AC is not working at home, we have a problem. Well, how about 500, 600, 1,000 students at a campus? In this case, City Wynn, close to 2,000 students, and the chillers aren't working? How can the student be successful when heat is overcoming, you know, they can't concentrate on what they're doing? The other one is in RVLA and LDC is the addition of gyms. I think all the elementary schools have gyms. RVLA and LDC don't have a gym, and I don't know, I blame myself for RVLA during the construction of RVLA, because I was the superintendent. Why didn't we see that there was a need for a gym for our students? Because you get them started, you know, health-wise, now, you know, there's all that health kick. We want our kids to be active. We want them to participate in athletic activities. Well, they need a good start. You can't have that in 100 degrees outside. You know, you need gyms, additional gyms. Not only for that, but there's other uses that I know that are used at the different schools. Now we go to section 4, which is the alternates. The first 3 sections that I just spoke about, those are part of the bond issuance. The amount of money that is obtained through the bonds is successful, then, you know, if there's any money left, we go to the alternates. And through the alternates, we have land acquisition that we need to work on, or acquire land acquisition. Gym floor replacements with polished concrete and elementary gyms. And that reminds me of the polished concrete floors that you have at Armando Serna and Perfecto Mancha. Because those are, I mean, yes, they need maintenance, but yet the maintenance is a lot easier to keep them clean than when you have the other type of floors. Parking lots. Parking lots is a necessity everywhere. Because I remember, you all remember Lalo Trevino, he used to joke around and says, we need a bigger street because the potholes are bigger than the street, you know? So we need to be careful with that. I mean, we need to provide not only for the safety of the students, but for the safety of the parents when they go drop off their kids, you know, for the safety of everybody. Auditorium. I know that there's a need for an auditorium, I believe that Eagle Pass High School, I take it back. I was on the facilities committees when they went through that. I won't say something wrong. I'll just say that there's a need for auditorium. Re-roofing for metal roofs at elementary schools and Memorial Junior High. And the last of all, section 4 as an alternate is bus replacements. Bus replacements, you know, those of us that are involved in transportation, pick up their kids, our parents that send their kids to the buses, well, they would hope that those buses have all the safety requirements that they have in order to get the kids to school safely and bring them back home safely. And I grant you that with the state laws that's coming up, we are going to have to go through that expense. And that's one of the alternates that we have. In closing, I'm going to say two important things that we need to keep in mind. I'd like for everyone to understand that these funds can only be used for construction or whatever it is that we are saying or we're recommending for the issuance of the bonds. They can only be used for that. Not for salaries, not for anything else. But just for whatever the bond issuance was stipulated in the bonds. And the other one that I like, there is no tax increase on issuance of these bonds for persons 65 years and over. That's me. And the disabled. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention. Enrique and Claudio.
I think he said it all. Good evening, my name is Claudio Heredia, and I recognize a lot of the board members. I've known you for many, many years. I want to thank the board and Mr. Mijares and the rest of the school district staff for having the confidence of putting us on this committee. At the beginning, we realized we had a very difficult task and a very important task, and that was to do an independent evaluation of what was needed for the school district. Now, all of us have kids, some of us have grandchildren, and we have a lot of people from our community here and watching. We always want what's best for our kids. And priority number one is safety. Second is providing adequate facilities that are cool, that have plenty of room. And so when we looked at the needs of the school district, we were trying to be as fair with what we needed, the necessities, the need, not the luxuries. And I want to take the board back to the last time we had a bond election. And that was to build our SAC, our Student Activity Center. And that bond had been put to the community twice. It had failed. The third time we were able to pass the bond, and everybody's elated because we have our graduations, our sports activities, our competitions. Our children go over there and develop their minds, their talents, their bodies as athletes. But now we're talking about actual needs of the children. And so when we look at the package that has been presented, it will be presented on paper for the board, we're looking at a significant sum. And so I was thinking about that because I just went through a lot of repairs on my house. My house, when I built it 36 years ago, was a beautiful home. But then now it's 36 years old, and I have a leaking roof, and I had to do a lot of repairs, and the costs were astronomical. So as our facilities got older, we need to repair them. And it's going to cost money. And so when we think about what it's going to cost, we can pay now, And if we wait for 5 years, 10 years down the line, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be more expensive. But we need to make those repairs. Now, what I want to also point out to the board and to the community is that the district not only issues bonds to pay for repairs, for new facilities, for new schools, but the school district also funds a lot of projects throughout the years. And I was looking at the information which is available to the public. From 2017 to 2025, the school district cash funded $89 million in capital projects. That came from our school district. We didn't have to go out and buy or issue bonds. So when we go back and look at what the school district is able to do, we've been doing a lot of projects that we can do cash, but going through a major overhaul of the needs of our district, we need to go out and sell bonds to be able to do the repairs and the new facilities that are needed as we grow, because we're going to continue to grow. One of the priority concerns that we had as a committee, and let me tell you a little bit about the committee. The committee is composed of a broad spectrum of community leaders and activists, people that are ready to work hard for the betterment of our children and our grandchildren. We have nothing to gain other than their safety and their well-being and a good education. So one of the priority concerns was, well, the people are going to say, okay, so we go out and issue bonds. How much is it going to cost me? That's the first question to ask. So I was looking at the numbers, because we have to be prepared for the numbers. And we were looking at the value of homes. And I'll give you an example. If a person has a home valued at $250,000, and we issue we have a bond election and it's approved by the community, that person will have to pay an additional $188 yearly, which breaks out to $16 a month extra. $16. If I take my wife to dinner at the local restaurant, I'm not going to be able to buy a meal for $16. If a person has a house valued at $300,000, the additional tax is going to be $274 a year, or $23 a month. Can we afford to pay an additional $23 a month for the safety and the well-being of our children? If a person has a house worth $350,000 valuation, the additional tax would be $30 a month additional tax. So I'm looking at the numbers and I'm thinking, are our kids worth it? I think so. And I think most of us want what's best for our children, and calling for a bond election to take care of our needs is essential for our children. It's essential for our community. And I'll go back and revisit the bond issue for the SAC. As we were working towards calling the bond election, I remember a person told me, hey, wait a minute, I don't have any children left in the school district. Why should I vote for the bond? And I said, mine are in college too, but I hope to have some grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Guess what? I now have 4 grandchildren in our community, in our school district. Thank you. So when we look at passing a bond, calling a bond election, we're not talking about today, we're talking about tomorrow, we're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6 generations from now. And so we need to be visionaries, because the need is here, and we need that bond election so that we can take care of the needs of our children. So given the information that we have accumulated for several months, I do respectfully ask the Board of Trustees to consider all that information, listen to our recommendations, and put the bond out there for the community to approve. Because we will have to pay the piper sooner or later. Let's go ahead and take care of our needs today. Thank you for your time.
Coming down to the closure, I know you're bored and tired and need to move on to good and better things. My name is Enrique Montalvo, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate in the committee. Even though we had a lot of questions and things to look at, we did a lot of walkthroughs through the facilities. And I think that in the best interest of our community, our citizens and people in our community, I think that it is in the best interest of the school district to approve this bond that we're going to be proposing. And I'm coming down now to the final recommendations and projects that we have agreed upon, and we're making them to you so you can consider them in your discussion. We visited approximately 20 campuses. We did some walkthroughs, not to all of them, but some of them, because the staff, the school staff, and the administration staff provided us with a lot of information, pictures, and diagrams, and things that this district had been doing towards getting those campuses up to par and up to level. So we had a list of priorities. We had an assessment made of those items listed. But we came up with a final list of priorities. And some of them, I thought some of those were already mentioned, but again, I'd like to reinforce those items. The final list of priorities consisted of new campuses, which consist of Kennedy Hall, ECC, Glass, and Graves. And new additions are going to Kirshner, Benavides, Seco Mines, Eagle Pass High School. We're also proposing to remove all portable buildings, especially in our school district. I think that those things are obsolete now, especially now times. I don't think those children in the early childhood level should be out in the elements, in the environment when it's cold or it's hot, especially in Eagle Pass, the weather is very hot here. And then the water fountains are outside, the restrooms, those portable buildings have served its purpose. They have done whatever they were served for. And I think it's time now to eliminate those things. Of course, the safety of the buildings, especially with the PA systems, some of those campuses are not functional, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They do maintenance work on those, and they do the best they can. So we need to come up to par and bring everything up to standard. Also, the major items, because we had a lot of requests that were submitted and things that we saw when we did walkthroughs. But the main one is at Eagle Pass High School, which is the replacement of the air conditioning and heating system there. They have done a lot of maintenance on those units. Lots of money being poured in, a lot of labor work done. And now they time to replace it. And those units don't come cheap. They're very, very expensive. We're talking about $1 million to replace that system. And those children or those students deserve better than that. CC Wind, again, they mentioned the remove of the guardhouse. They need to relocate it further up front towards the entrance to those two campuses, Frank Chisholm and the CC Wind campus, for security purposes. Eagle Pass Junior High and Memorial Junior High, we need to add 2 additional gyms there. It's uncalled for those people or those students to be out there and not having proper facilities like they used to see other places when they go and compete and play and all that. RVLA and LDC are permanent buildings, but they do not have gyms at all whatsoever. And those children deserve better. And then, of course, they mentioned also alternates. So those alternates that are on the list, land acquisition, gym, parking lots, auditoriums, and all those, those are in case the procurement process, when the bond is approved, if money is left over, we can take some of that money to do that. Also, in the process, if the bond is approved, there will be an oversight committee monitoring the bond and the process of the construction and the work. So there will be a site committee of citizens monitoring how much money went into these campuses, into these schools that we're going to rebuild. And they monitor that all the way for transparency and the accuracy of the funds that are going directly where it's supposed to go. So coming down to those are the final priorities of the list. And the recommendation is the bond in the amount of $150 million. The tax increase is 0.1171. And you heard Claudia mention about how much it will cost you to pay for this bond. And I think that we deserve this $150 million for the students and the education of these students for now and ever and for the future. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, and hopefully we'll be successful later on. Thank you.
I know there are several committee members here.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, the committee members are here. Would you please stand? I saw several earlier. Mr. Diaz, Yolanda, Mr. Flores. There were some others here earlier. But Hector Alvarez was part of it is part of the committee. There were some people from the city, Placido Madera, Daniel Ibarra, Alan Ortiz, who is the general manager of social leadership. I think there's a whole list there. But we certainly had a broad spectrum of community. We have Judge Frank Martinez, our municipal judge. We also have Claudia Wright that has joined us. Jose Angel Aranda, Pepe Aranda. We had some parents initially that were part of the committee. We have Mr. Ibarra, Katrina Purcell Longoria, Ms. Shannon Alfaro, Maricela Rodriguez, Ronnie Rivera, Jacqueline Byrne, teacher. They were there in the original committee. And if the board decides to pass a resolution and call for a bond election, obviously we will need to not have any school employees or representatives in the actual committee, so that we stand within the boundaries of the law. But we certainly had a very good broad selection of community people, and they all contributed, and we worked very hard to bring this information to the board.
And like I'm saying, there's several committee members here, and on behalf of the board, we want to thank you for all the work. It's a lot of time and a lot of dedication, commitment, but it is for our kids, for the education of our kids and the safety, so we truly appreciate that.
Thank you. We didn't open the floor for questions. Do you all have any questions for us? It was a lot of information that we gathered, and I know you've been bombarded with a lot of information. Yes, Mr. Lipson?
No, I have no questions. I just want to thank you very, very much, Mr. Sanchez, Mr. Montalvo, Mr. Heredia, and the rest of the committee. The experience that you bring to this committee, I know at least Flavio was there last bond issuing, of course, Mr. Sanchez, and Mr. Montalvo, of course, with the district. So I do want to thank all of you for taking the time to actually go look at the needs. I think I talked to you, Flavio, you talked about the needs, not the wants. And I think that's important, that members of our community that have been there and have got the experience, and I don't know exactly how to say this, but that are old enough to have seen what has been done in the past. And being there, you can lead us into the future. And I think that's very important. And now, of course, it's going to be up to the community to make a decision for our children. Thank you.
I do have a question. This is maybe more for the financial group. David, the recommendation is 150. Is the state, do you think, going to put anything in, or are we looking at something like that, or for some help?
Yes, the EDA program, which has always been available to Eagle Pass ISD and any other district as long as there's bonded indebtedness. Currently, the district receives around 27-28% assistance, so for every dollar, the state kicks in about 28 cents. So for about $150 million bond, you're looking at the state picking up about $40 million of that tab just on the principal. Just on the principal.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Well, thank you all. Great job. We really appreciate it. At this time, we'll just go to the board. I'd like to do consent items first. We will be moving number 2 to action items. So we will take 1, 3, and 4 together. Any questions on the consent items? If not, do we have a motion? A motion by Trustee Hitter. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Jaime Barrera. No other questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. We'll now move to action items. We will consider and take appropriate action on the request to approve Resolution Senate Bill 11.
I move that the board decline to adopt a policy under Senate Bill 11 and instead adopt the resolution as presented.
The resolution was presented. Correct.
Gosh. It's in your backup materials, if the administration wants to elaborate. I believe it's on page 98 and 99.
Yes, we have Mr. Castilla here. Can you read the resolution, Mr. Castilla?
The resolution reads as follows: decline to adopt policy Senate Bill 11 regarding the period of prayer and reading of religious texts, whereas Senate Bill 11 authorized the Board of Trustees to adopt a local policy requiring each campus to provide students and employees with the opportunity to participate in a daily period of prayer and reading the Bible or other religious texts, and whereas Senate Bill 11 does not require school districts to adopt such policy, and adoption remains solely at the discretion of each local Board of Trustees, and whereas the Board of Trustees acknowledges and supports the rights of students to engage in voluntary, student-initiated, non-disruptive religious expression, including prayer, in accordance with state and federal law, including Texas Education Code 25.151 and the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And whereas the Board also recognizes its constitutional obligation to avoid actions that could be reasonably interpreted as the school district endorsing, promoting, directing, or organizing religious practices consistent with long-standing statutory clause. And whereas after consideration of the statutory option provided by Senate Bill 11, the board finds that adopting a policy establishing a school directed period of prayer and reading religious texts is not necessary to protect or expand students' religious liberties. So now therefore, it is resolved that the Board of Trustees declines to adopt policy Senate Bill 11, establishing a daily period of prayer and reading of the Bible or other religious texts. The board affirms that students retain the right to voluntarily pray, read religious texts, or engage in other forms of religious expression, provided such activities are student-initiated, non-disruptive, and conducted during appropriate non-instructional time. The board directs the superintendent to continue ensuring that the district practices remain neutral to religion, neither promoting nor inhibiting religious expression, in full compliance with state and federal law. This resolution shall be recorded by the board's minutes as documented at the district's formal action presented to the head.
Thank you. The resolution has been read. There is a motion. Do we have a second? A second by Trustee Lipson. Other questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
This law requires a record vote, so we just want to make sure for the record that the meeting minutes are captured appropriately. So I think everybody, each board member voted in favor of this resolution. Thank you.
Okay. We'll now move to action item number 2 at this point. Consideration and approval of an order calling a bond election in the Eagle Pass Independent School District and approving other matters incident and related thereto. At this time, the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School District will convene in closed session as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, to deliberate upon the following matter. The board will receive legal advice related to agenda item 1 regarding the calling of a bond election and related matters, incident thereto pursuant to TTC 551 and 079. Do I have a motion to convene in closed session? A motion by Trustee Hitter. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Perry. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. The date is Tuesday, February 10, 2026, and the time is 7:06, and the motion and the board will convene in closed session. No action will be taken in closed session.
And I just want to point out quickly that the notice, although we didn't have it listed specifically, the notice indicates that during the course of the meeting, the board should determine that a closed session is necessary under the Open Meetings Act and within the purposes permitted by the Act. In this instance, the board has decided to go into closed session under 551-071 for agenda item action, item 6, number 1. Thank you.
The date is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, and the Board of Trustees of the Eagle Pass Independent School District is now in open session, and we will move to item number 6.1. Consideration and approval of an order calling a bond election in the Eagle Pass Independent School District and approving other matters incident and related thereto.
Mr. President, I move that the board adopt the order calling a bond election in the Eagle Pass Independent School District as presented.
We have a motion by Trustee Jaime Barrera. Do we have a second? We have a second by Trustee Lipson. Questions? If not, all in favor? All opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Mr. Mijares, you have correspondence and information?
Yes, just a reminder that Wednesday, March 4th, we will have our Special Olympics at the SAC at 9 a.m. And also spring break will be from March 9th through the 13th. And that's all the announcements I have.
Thank you. And at this time, do we have a motion to adjourn? A motion by Trustee Hiller. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Gonzalez. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. It is 7:47 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.